Let's see. It's 6:11. I don't know. I should not have planned for this. I don't do well with planning. I wish I did. But anyway, words and ideas are extremely effective weapons. And that's old school. The audio that I heard that from was most definitely shot in black and white. So this is about psyops and mind control. Everything's a psyop. You're living in just a soup of them. Everyone is trying to sell you. Everyone is trying to get you to be mad about. Everything is a psyop. Mind control is a little more probably difficult. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. It's all, I guess, based on trauma responses, things like that. Everybody's been through some shit. Everybody's going to go through more shit. And, yeah. But, generally speaking, I think, the safest thing to do is assume that you're being inundated daily, hourly, every minute with psyops. Everything is trying to influence you to do this, that, or the other. And I think the one of the things you should do is don't trust every thought you have. It comes to, I think, a great weapon in the tool belt of dealing with psyops and the modern world is forgiveness. I try to employ a lot of forgiveness in my life. I try to not hold grudges. I was talking to someone last night, and, forgiveness, you can think you're forgiving, and it can all fall apart in, good morning. I'm from Texas. It's afternoon, evening here. It's like 6, sometime after 6:11. But forgiveness and understanding are two very similar looking things. And forgiveness, you can think you're forgiving, but then in the blink of an eye, you can realize that you aren't forgiving, that retribution happens fast. And then in that moment, you have to come to terms with the fact that I wasn't forgiving. I got my revenge. And, but understanding is different, because there you just need to know why someone did what they did, or even if you don't know why, just understand that they probably had a reason to do what they did. And that's important. And I think especially in psyops, mind control, all this stuff, know that everything is happening for a reason. It doesn't matter what side of an issue you pick, there's something for you there. There's something that wants, hello, there's a flavor of further manipulation and control. The deeper you go into any rabbit hole, it's all designed for you. It used to be kind of an in aggregate thing where we're going to try to get the critical mass of a population to feel a certain way, and then they'll drag the other people with them. But at this point, you're getting targeted ads on your phone based on your address, your IP address, your literal location of your home, the things that your in-home speakers hear you say. So, to think that you're not getting exactly the message that is intended for you specifically is kind of crazy. So, just always be critical of your own thoughts. And so this gets into another thing. I can't remember what the person asked about V2K psyops, something like putting thoughts into your head from hi Elizabeth, putting thoughts into your head. I mean, a thought's a thought. It doesn't matter where it came from. You got to deal with it. And that's normal. You got to deal with it. You just need to deal with it in the most healthy, beneficial way you possibly can. And none of this really works without, on its own. To say words and ideas are powerful weapons. Well, can you imagine if you throw a bunch of imagery and mind-altering substances on top of that? And even so, a lot of things, I think, while you're I'm just going to get into it, while you're using mind-altering substances, and we're talking all the way down to the most air quote benign things that a doctor would give you, what's going on while you're on them is maybe not even the actual goal. The actual goal might be what happens when they're removed. The deconstruction of the bridges that all of those substances, your brain is a chemical making factory. And a lot of that interferes with its natural ability to make chemicals and do this, that, and the other. I don't know. I'm not a brain smarts guy, but I know that a lot of everything you need, you already are making. Hi there. Hi everyone. I'm just rambling about psyops and drugs coming off of them. But anyway, so you take all of these chemicals that your brain had accustomed itself to, and then you step backwards from that, and now it's maybe that's the goal. Maybe it has nothing to do you're welcome with it has nothing to do with what's going on while you're being treated. And then everybody's going through changes economically, and the thing that I noticed was when your financial situation changes, when you no longer have insurance or whatever, well, you're no longer going to be getting the medicines that your insurance was providing. So, the fact that all of these medicines, they study them for years before they release them out into the wild. So they know what they're doing. They know what happens when you come off. And I mean, for the most part, they even warn you, don't come off this shit. And all of this is just, like I said, it's kind of a side note to the fact that while you're going through these predetermined chemical withdrawals, changes, all this stuff in your head, you're also being inundated with words and ideas that are gonna make you feel certain ways, and that's kind of all of it, and so assume that they are somehow able to put thoughts in your head. Well, what are you gonna do about it? They're still thoughts. You've still gotta figure out a way to deal with it. And I hate to say I pray for people, because it sounds weird, but I pray that everyone doesn't get what they ask for in a moment of weakness, in a moment of not fully in control of your own thoughts. Because I mean, that's scary. I'm afraid for the bulk of people. Most people don't have there's always, like I said, there's always somebody out there ready, willing, and able to take advantage of these situations. Evil's always existed. It's always been there. What is alarming is the number of people that are trying to do good things for themselves and inadvertently making themselves more susceptible to it. The world right now is just adrift with people that want to do harm to others. And for them, I think all of this is like a big green light that says go. Now is the time to go be a psycho. And assuming you're not one of those like evil people, just that's not nice to say, sorry. I'm just rambling. Assuming you're not one of those people, you're gonna fall into the other camp. You're either the world is full of people that would just, do their best to do evil. And if you're not that, I want everyone to really pay attention to what could happen, because it's scary. Which would I pick? Of what? I don't know what I would pick. I'm not evil, for sure. Like, I really hope that it comes through that I want people to do good. I feel like a 3K or a hunting rifle. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, money? I prefer money. I guess. I don't know. But even that, like, so they're talking about psyops. Money. Huge psyop. The value of it just getting obliterated. And I think in the 1900s, like a $20 gold piece, which was, is $20, real money, $20, would buy you a handmade pair of shoes, a tailored suit, get your hair cut, all of that, a real suit, real clothes, real everything. And so that $20 gold piece now is worth, probably, it's over $4,000. So think about it. What would it cost to get a handmade pair of shoes, a custom nice suit, and get one legit outfit? Cost probably about $4,000. So the thing that they have stolen all your value from is the money. The dollar, the word dollar, the thing, the currency that means nothing. The hard asset that used to back it was the only thing that made it worth anything. People are like, the government's going to run out of money. No, they'll never run out of money because they just make more. There's never going to be an end to how much money they can create. And, the elephant in the room, I think right now with psyops and everything, is Jeffrey Epstein. Like, I mean, if he was responsible for all of the things that have just been pinned on him, that's, astronomical. That one person could have tied all of these strings together by themselves. And then, but the flip side of that coin is, how handy is it that all of this stuff is just one guy, and don't worry about him, he's dead now. That sure would be handy, wouldn't it? If nothing to see here, he's dead. Don't worry about any of that stuff, because the one mastermind of it all is gone. So, if you want to believe that he was the mastermind of everything, well, shouldn't everything have ended when he died? Like, are things better now than they were when he was alive? Or have things just accelerated out of control? So there's just no way. And I'm not saying he was probably involved in everything that they're saying he was involved in, but a mastermind? No. He was a con man. He was by con man, he had a lot of confidence. I watched a lot of the videos of him talking, and he was 100% all up on his own bullshit. He believed everything he says. And, that's what gets a person like him so far. They're really into their bullshit. And he was, or is. I don't know, he might still be alive, for all I know. I mean, that's another, like, we're on a multifaceted, we're on a more than two-sided coin at this point on that guy. If he was half as useful as everyone is saying he was, they wouldn't let him go. He's still somewhere. You know what the conspiracies are. But yeah, it's all stuff that we're supposed to be wound up about, and it's consuming. It's very consuming. I understand. And this is where, it comes back to, you don't have to forgive, and you sure probably can't forget, but you need to understand that the purpose of everything is to fuck with your head. And the way to win is don't let it. Don't give a psyop the satisfaction of ruining your day, ruining your life. Don't let it become that to you. In the in the most cheerful way possible, I want to remind everyone, we're all going to die. So don't get too worried about anything else. And for the unfortunate souls that maybe figure out how to download themselves into a machine, no, you don't want to be involved in that. That's gonna be hell. Literal hell. It's probably being cooped up inside a machine. But again, that's way out there. People probably, I think robots, there'll be some of them, but I still stand by my statement that they're never going to come in the numbers and the complexity that it's a psyop. They're never going to come replace people that do work. Sure, software can replace your manager because he costs a lot of money and essentially delegates tasks. Software can do that. But to replace, your hands with a robot that needs to be charged and could be hacked and might break some old lady's arm, the liability is too high. The cost is too high. And I don't think that will ever happen. It's just a way to keep people in line. It's a way to keep managers thinking, oh, I don't have to worry too much longer about keeping people in line because the robots are coming. And it's also used against the people to be like, oh, I better do my job to the utmost of my ability because they'll replace me with a robot. So everything is going to keep on going the way it is. And I don't know if that's good or bad. There'll eventually, something will happen that shakes things up sufficiently that people forget or stop or, I hate to say it, but like we're inching towards some kind of a fight. Just don't don't be involved if you can avoid it. Sure, don't just don't be involved. That's all I hope for people, is make peace, not war. It's not that complicated, but at the same time it's immensely complicated. Everyone wants to be important. I mean, look at me. What am I doing? I'm sitting here talking to a phone like I matter. That's crazy. But you know, I'm reaching out. I think that you know, I want to be understood, I guess. I don't know. I want to help. I want to be a net gain for the world, not a loss. I also don't want to be cannon fodder. I don't want to be something that just, look at that number. There's another number that died. That doesn't sound fun. But yeah, so I probably got way off topic. Not really. That was all pretty well within the scope of psyops and mind control. But yeah, we'll try to do this again. Maybe we'll do another one later. I don't know. I'm getting cold. I gotta go warm up. But yeah, just look for people that aren't trying to use you or hurt you. And yeah, hope for the best, I guess. I don't know. I get it. I get where people get concerned about what's going on. And yeah, anyway, starting to ramble. So I hope y'all have a good night. Like I said, maybe we'll do some more here in a little while, but I'm getting cold. I'm not warm enough for this. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.